it just seems like the more the people that don't do right, they get all of the benefits and the blessings and all of that type of stuff. But it seemed like when you struggle to do right, when you the more you try to do right, or the more you do right, it just seemed like you just suffer for it. The more like it just seemed like it can be something real simple. It's like all of the people, when I say all the people, I'm talking about the white folks. The white folks look, they do all this killing, they colonize, they do all that, but they living good. They always living good. They got everything. They never suffer. Their kids don't never suffer. Ain't never suffer for nothing. Anybody that prospered more and was living like heaven, living like they was in heaven, it's the white folks. And look like all of the people of God that actually really tries to do. I think about the situation with my mom, my mother with this stroke. All the good that she done her whole life, everything. She broke down, had a stroke in 2024, and she's doing good now. But it's like she suffered for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of the people that's the white folks, the wicked white folks, every last one of them, they get out there and they do all kinds of evil, no matter how much evil they do. Look like the more evil they do, look like the more they get blessed. They get more, have everything. Kids don't suffer for a damn thing. Here we is with this white Jesus Christianity that they selling us. Well, pray to the Lord, and you're gonna get everything that you need, and God see your struggle and all this kind of stuff. You on your knees praying. Give the pastor, you give 90% to the pastor, and the Lord gonna bless you to have all this wealth. You gotta pay for it, everything. I know he ain't white. I'm just saying, like he's a so-called black man, and I speak that all the time. And how our people be lied to. That's why I say that's why my YouTube channel is the name what it is, that Christians hate the Bible. When you start really talking about the Bible and breaking it down, people hate it. I'm talking about that now. I would just Jesus isn't white. It isn't black. He is a Jew. Well, if he ain't, you say he ain't black, but if you look in the Bible describes him the way he's being described. He is a man of color. That's just like me. Somebody can take my image, lie to my image, counterfeit everything in this video, and go back. When you look at me, people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what color Clarence is." I'm talking about me. You see what I'm saying? And somebody take and portray me as another color and all this kind of stuff, knowing how I look, not an original look, right, like I'm looking now. You see what I'm saying? And somebody take and counterfeit that. But you already know the truth of who I am because you're looking dead at me in the video right now. Nobody can tell you nothing different. I'm a person of color. You can clearly see that. So uh the word human means color. Humans have color to them. When you look at a Neanderthal is a so-called white man with human DNA, with monkey DNA, and dog DNA. That's what makes up um, a Neanderthal, something that's not human. That's why so-called white people can do all the stuff that they do. That's why they can do it, because Why do you think they murdered George Floyd, Sonia Mass, and all of them? Why do you think black people don't go around and murder nobody and don't do all that kind of stuff? It's because we are naturally created. It's not in our nature to go around and unalive our people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a so-called white man, they wouldn't take care of their parents or something like that. They unalive their people before they even try to take care of them. They couldn't hold up long because this information is actually in the Bible. It is. And I'm going to pull up some of it right now. Yeah. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 33 and yeah, let's go there. Here we go. I guess I put my glasses on for this. Yeah, because your people came over here and colonized the country, and and our people learned the ways of the so-called white man, and that's how. But because when you think about before the colonization, this land that was taken from the Native American Indians, what state was it in before the white folks or the white man came over here and colonized? What was it in? Well, you sound white. I don't know what you is, but what was this country before it was named America? It wasn't like, how did 1776 come into play? That was established because colonizing means when people come and invade something and take something that does not belong to them. So this land and all of this stuff does not belong to Europeans. It belongs to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who it belongs to. They came over here and every country that they went around in the world and they colonized it. Let's look at this here. I'm gonna show you why black people and Hispanic people, black people are different from so-called white people. Their natures are different. Look what it says. Let's see. Let's read verse 11. Ecclesiastes 33 and 11. In much knowledge, the Lord divided them and made their ways diverse. That means different. He made our ways different. We don't think the same. This is how you know we're not all the same, because it's 18 nations in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? I can prove that even more. In much knowledge, the Lord divided them and made their ways diverse. That means diverse means we're just different. We're not the same. Some of them had he blessed and altered, and some of them had he sanctified. See that? That's right. So when you look at let's go to 1 Corinthians. I'm gonna show the difference between see, when you start pointing things out in black and white, they get up out of here. It's 0 people watching me. So he was just up in here. And then he came in here and said, Jesus isn't white. And then he turned around and said, Jesus isn't black. He's a Jew. He admitted that he's a Jew. Bro, this is racist. But isn't that racist to come up in here and put you said he was a Jew, then you said he isn't black. So what is he then? Because if you're saying that if he wasn't black, and then you're trying to say Jesus isn't white, and then you try to come in here another breath and say Jesus isn't black and Jesus isn't white. Now, if you're saying that, then why would they have an image of him that looked like a European? That's the question that I'm leaving with you. Why would they have a picture of him looking like this pale-faced devil here? If he's not white, why would they have him looking like this then? You see what I'm saying? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter, I think it's 15. What you leaving for now? They left up out of here. I'm the only one in here. See, when you start pointing things out in black and white and with facts, they run. They say one thing, but when you bring the facts, they get up out of here. First Corinthians chapter 15, verses 38. It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 39, all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of man and another flesh of beasts, another fishes, and another birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. But one star different from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. That's right. The Bible says all flesh is not the same flesh. That's what I just got through saying. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of man, and another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. Now he gonna come up in here and make them statements. Yeah, and say, matter of fact, I can go ahead and stick it up there on the screen. Jesus isn't white. See that? See what he said? Jesus isn't white. And then in another breath, he turned around and came back in the same time. Look what he said. Jesus isn't black. He isn't black and he isn't white. So what color? If he ain't black, if he ain't so-called white, then why would they have an image of him looking like a European? Why would they take time and change his image? Why would they change his image? And then in another breath, he turned around and said, bro, that this is racist. Racist just simply means to be for your people. There's nothing wrong with being racist, because racist just simply means you're for your people. I'm for my people, just like he is for his people. He's for the so-called Caucasian people. He claim I'm not white. They lie. And then he turned around and look what else he said. This is going, black people murder more white people per capita than whites murder blacks. I would say that's a lie. Because if that was the case, why is it that a lot of black men and black women being Uncle Toms on the police department? You ain't never seen a black man take and put his damn knee on a so-called white man's neck and get away with it. You've never seen this. You never seen a black woman as a so-called police or whatever you want to call her put her knee on a white man or white woman's neck and they died. Show me the videos. You can take simple examples like that. Look who killed Sonia Mass, the damn white man. So how you gonna come up in here and say black people murder more white people per cap than whites murder blacks? That's a lie. Look how they do on the police force. Let's go and let's read Ecclesiastes chapter Baruch. I think am I saying it right? Maccabees 3:48. That's what I'm looking for. Maccabees chapter 3 in the Apocrypha, verses 48. I think it's first Maccabees 3, 2, 3. Here it is. And this is what the Europeans did. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathens had sought to paint the likenesses of their images. When you look in the Bible, they took all of the images of Christ and whitewashed them. Now let's go and let's get an example of what color Solomon is. Let's go to the Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon. Ecclesiastes. Isaiah. Let's go and get here we go, Song of Solomon. Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon. Let's look at Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. The Bible says, I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar and the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun had looked upon me. And my mother's children were angry with me, and they made me the keepers of the vineyard, but my own vineyard have I not kept. He didn't keep the sheep. He didn't guard the sheep. He wasn't faithful as a faithful steward should have. Solomon admitted that he messed up. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at the Bible, let's go to Job chapter 30. Let's go to Job chapter 30, and we're going to see exactly what color Job was. Solomon said, I am black and beautiful. When he said, I'm comely. Comely means beautiful. Job chapter 30. Let's read verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. Job said, my skin is black. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 1 and 2. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Jeremiah 14, verse 2. And I'm gonna clear that part up about the murder. I'm gonna clear that up. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. The Bible says Judah mournings. That means we're weeping, we're in anguish, we're talking about the killing and stuff, that how they do us. Judah mournings. That means we suffering. Strokes, like my mother. Judah mournings, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. The real Jews are black. That's what it's saying. The real Jews are black. Yep. Let's go and get another example in Daniel chapter 10, verse 6. He gonna come up in here and say all of that, but he ain't brought not one proof in here. Daniel chapter 10 and verse 6. The Bible says, now here's Daniel describing what Christ looked like. Daniel 10 and 6. His body also was like the barley, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. He says arms and his feet like in color. This is a vision that Daniel saw, what God looked like. Let's go to Revelation, the last book of the Bible. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ. See that? Revelation, what does revelation mean? Revelation simply means is to unfold or reveal. Reveal what meaning what he looked like. Let's look at Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. The Bible said, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass. That means, what color is brass? Brass is contributed brown, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice has the sound of many waters. So Daniel and John is actually seeing the same person. You see what I'm saying? Daniel and John is actually seeing the same person. Now let's go and let's clear up this comment that he wrote right here. Black people murder more white people per cap than whites murder blacks. Let's find out why. Addressing his comments. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Talking about the Israelites. Thus said the Lord. That means God said this here. Not no pastor, not no damn white man, not no Asian or whatever. He said, thus said the Lord. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. The first part, it says, thus said the Lord. That's Jeremiah 10:2. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. There you have it. Black people murder more white people per cap than whites murder blacks. Where did they get it from? Who create the guns? Black people ain't creating the guns. Who bringing and shifting the guns over here? Now, the other justification that they're going to use, they're going to try to use the justification, well, you can't blame the white men bring them here, of course, but if you get the gun and put the gun in your hand, at that point, you make the choice, then you can't blame them, you blame yourself. No. you still has to blame the one that's bringing the stuff over here for the violence to continue to happen. He just really cut himself in a way coming. I don't know what he's talking about, but he just came in here and just cut his damn self. Yeah, black people murder more white people per cap than whites murder blacks. And I just debunked every last one of that. How did our people do that? Ask yourself that question. They murdered the white man, as you want to say, which is a lie. And if they do, they don't learn the ways of your people. Because the Bible just said in Jeremiah 10:2, thus said the Lord. He's talking to the Israelite. If you listen carefully, God is talking only to Israel. Hear ye the word which the Lord spoken unto you, O house of Israel. O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Don't pick up their customs. Don't marry them. Don't marry into their culture. Don't do none of that. Yeah. Yep. So what he's talking about there, that even the statistics can back this up, that so-called white people, they could on the average murder, they murdered the native over 100 million Native American Indians. So how you gonna, your people committed the genocide of this country. Your people genocide and committed all that over here. So-called white people commit more murder and they got more blood on their hand than anybody. And they can't run from that. White people has got more blood on their hand than anybody on this planet. They murder more on that ain't even, drugs can't even compare to all of the killing that the so-called white man has done. So if anybody is coming in here speaking otherwise, it's not true. Then he got right here. He is a Jew. He admitted that he was a Jew. He was a colored Jew too. He admitted that part, but said it didn't. Jesus isn't white and he isn't black. Okay, well, why would they? The question is, why did, like I said earlier, why did they put up an image of a white God? Why would they push that across? If you look at it across the globe, they got it, they got it him pushed as a white man. Jesus, the man that people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, who people ignorantly worship, is a so-called white man. He raped his own sister and killed his own brother. So I don't know what he here up and got his ass up out of here, because he know they wasn't prepared. I guess he saw that I did. Well, he looks up a lot of stuff. He looks up things, so I can't easily fool and pull the wool over his eyes with that. So I'm gonna get up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later. The people that do right, they suffer more. That's what I named this video. I'm out.